Ahsoka lives, y'all. Well, it kind of turns out that Ahsoka never actually died on Malachor. What's up, Urban Acolyte Army? My name is Prince, and I'm an Urban Acolyte. In this video, I want to talk about Ahsoka is alive, and it's also going to be my review of the two most recent Star Wars Rebels episodes that aired tonight. The video that I posted after the episodes aired, the one about my reflection on Kanan's death and everything, I recorded that and I started to sit down and edit it, and then Rebels came on like 5 minutes later after I finished recording. So hopefully I get this up tomorrow morning while I'm at work. That means I'm gonna have to get up early to edit it. But anyway, I'm not gonna review the episode. I'm actually gonna talk to you guys because I was live tweeting the episode. So I'm just gonna follow my tweets and kind of talk about what was going down. So in the Doom episode, and I left off on this note before I got back into the whole reflection thing on the last video, I talked about the stone and how that was going to pertain to that picture of the Mortis gods, which was the first thing that we got. We got that in a conversation with, what is this dude's name? We got that in the conversation that the minister had with Palpatine. Now, I tweeted, I bet that's Yuptashu. I turned out to be wrong. I got a correction from that. I got so many. Brian Young at Swankmatron. He said that was Minister Hyden, voiced by Malcolm McDowell. So it turned out it's not Yuptashu. But I said, well, it looks like we've got another player when it comes to the Sith cultist. The other guys like Yuptashu who were Palpatine's advisors or other ministers who followed the Sith religion, although they themselves were not Sith. And Minister Hyden was the one that let us know that this painting of the Mortis gods there in the Jedi Temple on Lothal was a portal. It was the key to a portal, and we find out that that portal takes you between worlds. You literally walk. You're in like no man's land. You're in between worlds, in between times, and you can enter these portals and come and go through the other portals. And basically you control time and space, right? So he who controls time and space controls the galaxy. They can reshape the galaxy, refit it any way they want. And so Palpatine was, in his quest for unlimited power, right, he wanted to control time and space. Now, is that what the immortality thing is that Plagueis was seeking? I'm gonna say I don't think so. But like I said, there's always secrets to the Force. Things got really weird. Ezra cracked the code with the help of Sabine. He entered the portal, and if you pay attention, you hear the first thing is we hear the conversation Obi-Wan has with Luke in A New Hope, and I'm like, wait a minute, that hasn't happened yet, right? I think that was before the explanation about what that place was, right? That it exists outside of time and space, right? And then if you listen, you hear Maz Kanata in The Force Awakens. You hear Rey talking in The Last Jedi and in The Force Awakens. It's really crazy, so it makes sense now. Now it makes sense why Rebels needed to take a break. And I did say that I think that there are going to be things from The Last Jedi that tie into Rebels, right? And there's a huge question mark hanging out there right now about Ahsoka lives. Ahsoka lives, right? And I tweeted Obi-Wan's mention of changing things to Ezra last season when Ezra goes to Tatooine, and the Emperor's mention of Kanan's death changing the trajectory of Lothal. I said I can't help but read into that, yeah, we're totally retconning and expanding on the original story, right? Because, we said, well, now the question is, where is Ahsoka? We've still got the series finale of Rebels, but where is Ahsoka? Where has she been during season 3 and what we've seen in season 4? Where has Ahsoka been, right? I'm going to talk about that The next thing I tweeted was, there we have it, the Mortis gods. Does this make Darth Plagueis' notes in the Book of the Sith on the prophecy of Mortis canon? Right? I've talked about that in some live streams. I've read from the Book of the Sith and Plagueis' notes. Basically, Plagueis said the Jedi are wrong. The Jedi believed that the Mortis gods, the son and the daughter, when the father's gone, that they will tear the galaxy apart, tear the universe apart. And we learn that the Jedi basically everywhere, all of the Jedi artwork, all the different Jedi temples have artwork devoted to the gods of Mortis, right? So then that makes you wonder, what is the origin of the Jedi now, right? Because we didn't have that in the Dawn of the Jedi, right? They were on Tython. The Ashla and the Bogan were the names of the moons, and the rotation of the moons, the way they moved, the heavenly objects, right? I'm not talking about heaven like God and Jesus and all. I'm talking about, stuff in the sky, in space, right? Would pull the planet out of alignment. So the moons had to be in balance, and for them that was the balance of the force. But now it's kind of like you've got the dark side, you've got the light side, and we don't serve just the light side. We, the Jedi, we are the balance. We are the Father. And the greatest of us is the chosen one, who will literally restore balance to the Force when the Force gets out of alignment. When the son and the daughter are out of alignment because the father is gone, Anakin was supposed to stay on Mortis and replace the father, but he chose not to, right? And then we had the rise of the Sith, right? Someone pierced the veil is what was in the extended in Legends. Now that's different. Palpatine rose to power and was using the Jedi literally as his pawns, is the story that we have right now, until that is one of you great Star Wars fans who's not complaining about the story but realizes, hey, I can become a writer and do a lot of good work, and then one day Lucasfilm will peg me and say, hey, you want to work on a Star Wars project? Sure. I want to write the canon version of Plagueis the Wise and talk about Plagueis' master, right? You totally have the power, right? All right, so what happens is Sabine is captured by the Empire when Ezra is in the portal, and I had a bad feeling about Sabine's chances of survival, but Sabine is a survivor. She knows how the Empire works, and she's playing that minister dude the whole time because she's trying to figure out, okay, one, I need to play this game long enough to survive and to escape, but I also need to find out what do you know, so that I can use your knowledge to help to increase my knowledge to help get Ezra out of there, right? And she learns how to close the portal and destroy it for good, which is what happens at the end of the episode. But while Ezra is in there, the thing we got to talk about, Ezra, one, we find out, what is her name? Morai, right? The converie is named Morai, and I'm led to believe that actually is the daughter's name, because the minister dude says that converie serves as a spirit guide, but it is the daughter. The daughter acts as a spirit guide in the form of the converie, and that is why the converie is always with Ahsoka. It is her spirit guide, and Ezra follows Morai to the portal that shows him Malachor after he's pulled out. The duel between Ahsoka and Vader. Ahsoka manages to allow Vader to escape the coming explosion and to save her own life. Of course, we know the thing exploded, and the question was, well, what we saw at the end of season 2, Vader limping out of there, and Ahsoka somehow is also outside the temple going back in with Morai following her, and it's like, what is that, a ghost? What's going on there, right? Did Ahsoka die? Did Ahsoka live? What we find out is that Ezra reached in and pulled Ahsoka out. She's running around in the I don't know, the echo chamber, the place that doesn't exist in between time and space, right? The crevice in the force or something like that. Some force nexus, I don't know what you call that place. And Palpatine is after them. Ahsoka manages to save Ezra. She says, look, I can't go back. And that made me wonder, like, because I said, look, Ahsoka's supposed to be dead, right? Or leading everyone to believe she's dead at that point in time. Where is Ahsoka at this point? Because what happens is that when Ahsoka saves Ezra from Palpatine, now they've got to close the portal. Ahsoka gets out. Ezra gets out. Ahsoka appears outside the temple on Malachor. So when we see her limping back inside, from the very beginning, Dave Filoni messing with our minds, the genius of Dave Filoni, Ahsoka got pulled out in season 2 by Ezra in the future. So now we've got time travel in Star Wars, which is really going to tickle your noodle. But it was an amazing episode. And now we're left with the series finale, right? And I have a feeling that Thrawn is going to die and Ezra is going to sacrifice himself to save the rebellion. But this is the burden that comes with being a Jedi, right? Those who have much power. I don't want to say the Uncle Ben line from Spider-Man. What I've always been said is, to those who much is given, much is expected, right? If you have a lot of talent, then there's a big expectation on you to use that talent to further yourself and to reach back and help other people. If you're a Jedi, you're supposed to be selfless, right? It's not all about, oh, I'm swinging a lightsaber and I'm a hero. You're expected to help people in whatever way, shape, or form you are able to, because the Force chose you to serve the will of the Force, and the Force ultimately is about life-giving, life-preserving. And to do that, maybe you have to sacrifice yourself. And that's a big question that I also have moving forward. What, Ahsoka, we thought she died and she was fulcrum. Ahsoka, where you been? Where you been, boo? Where you been, boo? If she makes it through Rebels, does Ahsoka pop up later? Has she just been hanging out there on Malachor? Did she starve to death? What's going on? Like, I would think that Kylo Ren, he knows about Malachor. I think that he went there. Was Ahsoka still there? Like, hey, hey, Ben, Luke, how you guys doing? I've been here eating snails and rats and stuff. Like, where's Ahsoka? What's she doing? And how does her story progress now? Right? So I don't know. It's like we get answers, but those answers lead to more questions. And the story just keeps getting deeper and deeper. But hey, y'all, Ahsoka lives. We're going to enjoy it for this week while we have it. While we have Ahsoka back, let's enjoy it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Ahsoka is back. How do you feel? And what did you like about this episode? And what are your predictions for the series finale of Star Wars Rebels coming next Monday? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click that subscribe button, and take your first steps towards joining the Urban Acolyte Army. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. You can do that by supporting us on Patreon or checking out more videos over here and sharing them with your friends. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.